Hello, welcome to this YouTube video, and I'll be showing us today how I reduced my token usage all the way from 25,000 to around 3 to 4,000 tokens per request. I built an AI chatbot assistant basically for a gadget store that allowed customers to send in complaints, find out about their orders, and necessary things they might need. And I noticed while building it that each request that I make gets to as high as 25,000 tokens on each message sent. So I wondered why and decided to check out what might be the reason, and that is what exactly I'll be sharing us today. And this is my first workflow that is on the screen here. I built this document, which is basically our knowledge base, where our agent can go to retrieve information that he needs based on the customer request. But based on how I set it up, it gets to retrieve the entire document every single time a customer asks a question about the company or about the store itself, which increase the token usage to that high amount. So I thought about it that it's actually a better way to do that to reduce this token because the higher the token, the more cost it is. And the more I get to reach a limit which I don't even want to at that point. I decided to build a second workflow using a vector store that chunks all these documents, which is basically a RAG, as a retrieval augmented generator, that retrieves the necessary information that I want, not the entire document. And I noticed that by the time I was done with the whole setup, I only spent like 3,000 to 4,000 tokens per request, which is way cheaper and bearable compared to that 25,000. As you can see, there's basically up to like 75% access token and token reduction. And this is something that when you're building automation, you have to pay attention to because the higher the token that is being spent per request, because you can imagine the number of requests that are being made in a minute. And the higher the number of requests are made, and the higher the token, the more money you get to burn. And as automation specialists, what we want to do is make this easier for the company, not to increase their budget. So I'll be showing you today how I was able to build this simple workflow using the vector store to chunk documents and get and allow the agent to retrieve only the necessary information without getting the entire document. So without wasting too much time, and just to let you know, my name is Oladimidi Daniel. I am an AI automation specialist that help companies build automation workflows. Kindly reach out to me if you have an automation that you want to build and you need someone to build it for you. I'm definitely going to be available for that. I need you to book a call for that. I'm also available for that. So without wasting too much of our time, let's get started on this automation.
I'm just going to show you a very quick demo of what I was saying before in the intro. So as you can see here, this is the first workflow I built, the first one. And just to show you here, this is the number of tokens that was being used here. As you can see, this is 24,559 token. That's quite a lot. Like, I mean, it's really a lot considering if we're considering cost or we're considering the amount that's been spent. It's a lot. Let me show you the second example so you can see that. I just want to show you a second example of how that turned out to be too. And this one is 25,084 token. So that is for that. So as you can see, the amount of token has been used just to generate a question, and the question that was being asked was just to show you. Let me look. Okay, I want to know your refund policies. That was the question I was asked, and then it had to go all the way here to generate it, and the number of token that was used was 25,000. And one of the main reasons why this happened, just for me to let you know, the reason why it was so expensive like this is because where it gets the file from knowledge base has so many it's just 8 pages, but it has so many markdowns with it when it comes to table, the design, that means color and all that. It's something that it also consider the when the agent is using the file to consider all this. As you can see, this section, this bold is considered, but to consider the color, the column and all that. So if it's a very simple document where it's just There is no design in it. There is no column. It's just a straightforward document. It consumes actually very lesser token. Okay, very lesser. But when you're in a situation where you can't do that, like in a document like this, where I can't do this, where I want it to be the way it is with the whole design and all that, the best way for me to try to do it is what I'll be showing us today. So let me show you a very quick walkthrough that I did of how I was able to solve this problem of this workflow, the usage of 25,000 token just for a request. That's it's crazy. So let me show you a very quick one of how I built it using just this workflow. Let me show you just this workflow alone, and I was able to minimize my token to around 6,000, 7,000 token per request compared to 25,000. That's basically like 75% reduction, yes, in the access token. So that's one thing I want to show us how we built this. And I use Supabase as a vector, so I'm going to show you how to build the Supabase vector store in case you have something like this. So the first thing that you want to do is to input all your documents into your vector. So that's what I'll be showing today. The easier way for you to do it is to your Google Drive view. From the Google Drive, you link it to Supabase. But because I'm only doing a very short intro and I'm only going to be using just one document, and once the document is there, I am done with it. That is why I'm going to be showing a very short method to actually do this. Like I said, if there's a production where document needs to be coming in every time, or there's going to be deletion of records or deletion of documents, then I would say one of the best and easier way is actually Google Drive. But just to show you how I got it into my vector store, this is the vector store here. This is all the information here that is being broken into chunks in the vector store. So how did I get here? That's what I want to show here. So first of all, we're going to use a very workflow, that is execute workflow, and then we have our HTTP request. The reason why we have this HTTP request is to get that document, and I'm going to show you where the document was being gotten from. So if you go to temp.files.org, that is tmp files, tempfiles.org, sorry, you will be able to actually upload a file and get the URL for just 60 minutes. Like, it's a very short then. I'm going to upload it there. I'm going to get a URL, and then after I have uploaded, it's going to delete after 60 minutes. So that is why it's quite safe. After I upload it there, after 60 minutes, the URL expires and all that. So that is what. So the first thing you do is choose your file. And the one I'll be choosing is this. So you open it, and then you upload it. So once you have uploaded, you see this URL here, this URL, that is what we'll be using. As all you just need to do is copy that URL, and once you come back here, you input the URL here, you input it here, and then you'll be able to get your file from it. So once you get your file from it, it's going to be in a data. So it's going to come as a data, which is going to be, so I'm going to extract it from PDF. Don't forget, what I'm uploading is a PDF, so I'm going to extract it from a PDF. So if you have yours in a Word document just like this, let me say Google Doc, the best thing for you to do is convert it to PDF, and then you upload it into whatever place you want to. Like I said, I use tempfiles.org for mine, so you can use a different one for yours. And then let me just do a quick demo so you'll be able to understand what I'm talking about. Let me just copy the URL so I can show you what I mean by that. I'm going to cancel it here because I don't want it going into the Supabase vector since it's already there already, so that is why I don't want to repeat. I don't want to repeat it. I just want to show you how that works. So you execute step. As you can see, this is how our PDF is. So you can either download it if you want to be sure, but this is how it is. So once you come here, the next thing you do is to extract from file. That means you extract from PDF. Actually, you can actually upload it directly into the Supabase here, but I prefer extracting it from file, so it will be much more easier when breaking down. That is just my own personality, but you can actually, even though it's in a binary form, you can actually extract it into your Supabase in a binary form. Then you can break it into chunks in a binary form. So I'm going to extract from PDF, and then this data here has to match this name here. As you can see, data. So by the time I click on execute step, it will extract everything from it. So, and then that is what I will use for my Supabase. Like I said, I did not connect it. So if I connect it now, I'm not going to run it. Then we'll be able to push everything to Supabase, and that's how it is. So we're going to choose Supabase, insert document, because the operation is want to insert document. That is the operation I want to do. I want to put a new document inside, so it's insert document. That is the operation. And then you choose the list from, and then I'm going to show you how this is done. So the first thing you need to do is to create to get your credentials for Supabase. After I created your Supabase account, I created your project. I'm going to show you how to get your host and service role. So let me show you a quick example of how to get your role and service. So if you come over to project settings, then you go to your data API, this data API here. You see this app URL. That's what you copy it and paste it in this host. As you can see, you copy that app URL and paste it in this host there, in this host. Then for your service role secret, let me show you where you get that from. You go to you see your API key here. You go to your API key. I see the secret key. It will load now. You copy this secret key here, and then you will take it and post it here. So that is how that works for that. That was too much of our time. So that's how you connect, and by the time you click connect, to show connection successfully, and that is how you connect to it. So now, how do you create this document? That means how do you create your tables? That means this document table, how do you create it? So let me show you how to do that. This is the table I'm talking about here. So if I come to table, wait for it to load. This document table here, how do we create that? So that's what I want to show you now. If you go to your open docs, then you go to Supabase vector store, and then you come all the way down to where you see quick start for setting up your vector store. You click on that, and then you see this usage here, where they're talking about usage here. You copy it, and then you come to your Supabase vector store. Sorry, let me show you. Then you come to your Supabase, and you go to your SQL editor. So once that is done, all you just need to do is the code that you just created, you copy and paste it here, and then you click on run. So let me show you again. So not this coming. Let me go back to that part where we're talking about so what you copied here, the next thing you click on run, and that would solve it. So it's supposed to show 200 successfully connected, or 200 something like that, to show that it has successfully connected. So and that is, once you do that, automatically it would show this document table. So when you're not selecting it in your Supabase, you will not pick that table. So that is how that runs. So like I said, once you just click, automatically this table is being created. And then let's now continue with the workflow. So you choose that means the table just created out to document, and then you leave it as 200 batch size. And after that, we use whichever one you want. Maybe you want to use as your embedding model. I use embedding Google Gemini, so you can use OpenAI. I know OpenAI is one of the most common I've seen, where you can use embedding Google Gemini, and then you choose your default loader. So after you finish using your default loader, you now choose a there are so many you could choose, but I chose recursive character text splitter. So that was the one I chose for it. So it's something that you see there. After that, so this is always, I did not change this, so you can leave it the same way. JSON load all inputs and custom. But if you don't want to load and you want to make it selected, let me specify data that you want to load. So maybe you can just drag and drop only this text into it, and that is it. But I decided to load everything into the Supabase. So it now depends on which one you want for it. All this, you can tell like, okay, you don't want all this, you only want the text for me, so you can just drop on text. You drop the text into this. That means you can just drop this text here into this data here, and that is it. So that is all for that. And once you click on run and everything, you'll be able to get everything will be able to be chunked into your vector like this, and you are good to go. That means all your information are now in your vector store. The next thing we want to do now, which is just of time, is to now build our main workflow. So as we all know, I decided to use the chat trigger. That means the in chat trigger, so the chat message, and then we have our AI agent, which I use the prompt. We're going to talk, this is like a gadget customer support bot that I built. So I explained to it all the things it's needed for it. I'll probably drop the JSON file. So once you open the JSON file, you would see all the prompt embedded in it already. So you can just use it if you want to. And once that was done, I used the simple memory. Though as you can see, the previous one I used the progress memory. So that's because I did not want to waste so much time setting it up. Even though there's not much issue setting it up, it's not really going to take time, but I said it's just simple memory. And then the Airtable start record, and which is not part of is not what I'll be diving in today, because I just want to just explain the part of the token usage. Such the record is where all the customer information are being kept there, so it goes there to check for the record of what a customer has bought. Like I said, the gadget customer support. And then we have the Gmail, which is the human escalation tool, which anytime the agent cannot handle any problem, or it feels like a customer is too frustrated, then it sends an escalation message to the human Gmail, so the human will be able to take it up from there. So that's the purpose of the Gmail escalation tool. And then we have the knowledge base. This is where it picks the information, that chunked information. This is where the agent goes there to pick it. I'll be showing you a quick demo of how that works. So how to set up the knowledge base. All you just need to do is, okay, yeah, I did not specify where you can search. So you search for Supabase, and then you have your Supabase, and you choose Supabase vector store. So whichever one you want to choose. So it's not part of this. So you choose Supabase vector store, and then you can choose maybe add documents and all that. So the one I chose was, for this one, is retrieve document for AI as tool. So that was the one I chose. But for this first one here, we use add document vector. So then for this one here, retrieve document for AI agent as tool. So the next thing you need to do is choose the same document. We already connected our Supabase account, just like I showed you how. And then you can choose your limit. That means the number of short details you retrieve. So I left it as 2. You can make it 3, you can make it 4. The more higher it is, the more accurate it is. It's to be able to pull in information from. So the higher your limits, the higher the more accurate your information tends to be. So that is all for that, and that was how I was able to bring all our data into Supabase in a chunk format, so that when the agent wants to get a specific information, it doesn't bring out all the information just like the first one we did, where it has to bring out all the whole database knowledge base, like brings everything back in the whole full content, then read all the whole content before generating a reply. And that was the reason why we had lots of token usage. But for this, it only brings out the required, that means it's retrieving only that specified information that we want. So let's take a demo before we I end the demo, just to show you how it works. So I said hi, I'm going to be showing you the token usage while we're working on this. The token usage for this one is 1335 tokens. So let me ask it, what are your refund policy? Okay, so like I said, all we just want to check is the total number of so do you remember the first one we did was 25,000. Now this is just to show you 3,338 tokens. That was the total number of tokens. 3,553 tokens. That's the total number of tokens. So compared to 25,000 tokens, as you can see, I inputted the same question and I got 3,000 from 25 to 3,000 using the same information on the knowledge base. That means it's the same thing, the same document was what I used, not no difference, exact same thing. And you can see the reduction from 25,000 to less than 35. Massive difference. So this is just something I was able to notice because I was running to limit fast and I was wondering, wait, what is going on? So I said, let's check the token. I noticed that, okay, yes, this is a major issue. I decided to, okay, let's switch the whole thing, and I was able to build a vector store for this. So in case you're having any problem, like okay, you have hit your limits too much, or this, probably before you make a test, and try to take your token usage and see if there's a way you can modify to reduce it, because each time you waste money on token, your money gets wasted. And funny enough, this method makes even the agent faster. That means the time is even faster. There's a faster response time than even when there's a high usage token. So there's so many benefits to building things like this. And as an AI automation specialist, it's one of the things we need to focus on when it comes to token usage. It's very, 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 very important in this aspect. So let me know what you think in the comment section, and thank you very much for your time once again. And yes, don't forget to please like this video and subscribe. Thank you.